host of What's Linda Cooking. Today we are doing just a simple pasta with some zucchini and peas, and I have some scallops, so I think I'm going to use those too. So let's get, I've got my water going right over here, but we're going to put on a stainless non-stick skillet right here, because I'm going to do the veggies first. I'm going to put some butter in there, and that's just going to kind of start going. And this pasta, actually the pasta water is boiled, so I am going to take that out. And you definitely want, there we go, you want to season up that pasta water, because that's the chance, there we go, I got my salt. That's the chance that you have to season the pasta itself. So just put a little bit in there, I don't want too much. And I've got some fettuccine here, so I'm going to throw that in, okay? And so we've got, this is probably about a half a pound, just for my husband and I. Uh-oh. I need a bit stronger here. There we go. And I know some people have issues with breaking pasta. I do not. So I just break it and put it in there. I don't think that there's any reason why you can't just break pasta and put it in there. I don't know what the big deal is. So, of course, I don't stress about stuff like that, for sure. Got my chef's tongs here. I'm just going to kind of wave that around just like that. Okay, so we've got our butter melting right there. Let me take that aside. I am going to use my quick Prep Mandolin. I love this. I use this all the time for all kinds of julienne and slicing and things like that. This one I'm going to actually julienne the zucchini, and it's going to be nice and fast. So let's get, oh, wrong thing, there we go, I'm going to put that in there. How many times have I used that? I guess not enough. Actually, I use it a lot. But anyways, so we're going to put this in here, and I'm going to make sure that this is on the julienne slice, which it is, and I'm going to unlock it. And you can see it is just making beautiful julienne here, okay? So as I get closer, and you can cut these if you get a little nervous, but as I get closer, then I'm going to use this, and there we go. And it is beautiful julienne. How quick was that? One of the great tips that I have is if you prep all your veggies ahead of time, if you're somebody who, you know, maybe you're not liking to cook that much and it takes too much time, prep all of your veggies ahead of time, because most of the time of cooking is wasted by prepping your veggies and stuff. So I'm just going to throw that in there. And then I'm going to put in a little bit of peas. I've got my kitchen shears right here. I'm going to cut that. And I'm just going to put in about that many peas. Then this is going to go back into my freezer. I'm going to put a clip on that in a minute. But let me just kind of do this. Just going to mix this up. Now I'm just going to push everything aside, because I'm going to put, now you can make this vegetarian. The original recipe is vegetarian. But you know what? Michael's not a vegetarian. So I'm going to put some scallops. I have this. I made a cioppino last week, and I used half of this bag of scallops. So I'm just going to throw in the other half of the bag and let that kind of just cook there. It's got some ice on it. That's okay. We're just going to kind of let this go. Going to mix this up a little bit. And then in the meantime, let's season it up with some salt and pepper real quick. There we go. And I'm going to bump up this heat. Oh, not that high. A little bit of pepper. I might put some garlic in it, but kind of towards the end. I'd rather just kind of put it at the end. Let me get out my garlic. I have it in a terracotta pot back here. Garlic is much better in a terracotta pot. And one of the best things, I had gotten that a long time ago in a Yankee swap kind of thing. And so that is something I use. You know, I have my terracotta pot. But if you go to your local gardening center, we got a Wayward one here, and just get a terracotta pot And then the salsa that is a little bit too big for it, okay, one size too big, put your garlic in there and put the terracotta pot upside down. Perfect for your garlic. So I'm just going to put this, I'm just going to put it in right now. Now that I'm talking about the garlic, it's not going to burn because there's a lot in there. And all of these little ends are going to be saved for my soup, my stock bag that I do. Y'all know and have heard about that. I always save all of the peels just to put aside for that. Now while I'm waiting for the veggies and the scallops to get done, because this is going to be done in about 5 minutes, I'm going to move this aside and I'm going to just kind of grate some cheese. Let me kind of turn these around. These are kind of steamed. The reason why I wanted to put this in this is when you use frozen scallops, which I do a lot, you're not going to get the perfect sear on them like you would if you had fresh and it was dried and all of that. So that's why I'm just going to use this right in this recipe, because they're not going to be perfectly seared scallops because of the water content in them. Now if you want to be able to sear the scallops, and definitely don't get the frozen ones, you can go down to the docks and go to some of the great fishing ports we have here in New Bedford and get some fresh scallops, which are amazing. So I'm just going to really quickly, I've got a like a wedge of Asiago here. I also have some provolone, but I think I'm going to use the Asiago, and I'm going to try to do this ever so slightly. And this is going to go in there. And I also have some Parmesan or provolone. Maybe I'll do some provolone too. And I'm going to need, this is very soft cheese, so I got to kind of be careful with it because it's going to fall apart a little bit, and that's okay. It's okay. There we go. Let me take this last. Maybe I'll mix in, because there's not that much in here, maybe I'll mix in a little bit of the provolone too. I'm going to use a little bit of provolone because the Asiago is just a little bit, so let me use some of this provolone. I like the flavor of provolone because it's a little bit stronger. And I can smell it really nicely too here. So we're just going to, just a little bit, mix that in. Okay, so at the end, this is what I'm going to put in. And I'll show you how this all comes together once this is done. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to shut this pasta off. And I am just going to put this in just like this. It is going to continue to cook as I put this in and do the rest of the cooking. Because we are going to add some butter and then add some of this cheese. And I don't want to be too heavy-handed with the cheese because my husband doesn't love cheese. But we'll see. And you know what? And a lot of times in Italian cooking, I should have used my pasta tongs so I could have grabbed this a little bit better. And it's a little sticking on the bottom here. I will grab all of that later, the rest of it. So we're going to toss this in just like this. Look at how beautiful this is looking. I don't know if you can see it on camera, but I will put it up in just a little bit so you can see it. And I'm going to add a little bit, kind of lower this heat a little bit. I'm going to add a little more butter. Just a little, just 2 little pats of butter. Just to kind of add to the velvetiness of it. And at the same time, I'm going to put some of this cheese in here. I'm going to put in a bunch of it. And we are just going to mix this in. And this is going to make, now I might need a little bit of the pasta water, but I don't think so, because I think that the scallops gave enough of their juices to make enough of a sauce. And you know what, I'm going to go ahead and add the rest of this cheese. Hopefully Michael won't mind, because he doesn't love cheese. I will get his verdict from this. And then this, oh, and it's melting so nicely in here. as a sauce, it's just doing a beautiful job of just melting in. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little bit of a taste just to see if I need a little more butter or if I need a little bit more pepper or what have you in here. Let's see. One of these that's nice and coated. Well, I got many that stuck together. So let's see how this is. Let's see. You know, that little bite of the cheese and then the scallop flavor is just beautiful in this. I really like it. But I am going to add a little more pepper and then I think a little more butter. And then maybe a little more salt. This is not unsalted butter, but I think I just want a little bit, if I could add the little pieces of it around, just like that. And then we're going to do, that's why my pants always get dirty, because I wipe my hands on my pants sometimes. Anybody else with me? And then we're going to mix this in. And like I said, we can add a little bit of pasta water if you want. And I actually may just add the tiniest bit of pasta water just to kind of gloss it a little bit more. Oh my goodness, this is done and it is going to be an amazing meal for tonight for my husband and I. So I'm going to show you this in just a minute. It is beautiful. Look at how beautiful. Now I'm holding it, so who knows how this camera is going to go. But look at how beautiful this is with the scallops and the peas and the cheese and the linguine. This is what's for dinner tonight. Pasta with scallops and zucchini and peas. What are you cooking up tonight? I would love to know. This is Linda Medeiros with What's Linda Cooking. Bye for now.